Hello, everybody. One of the sections of our Parsha deals with the laws of kashrus, and the Torah enumerates the non-kosher species of fowl. One of the birds that is listed is the chasidah, which most Mefarshim understand to be the stork, albeit not all. Of course, when we hear the name chasidah, we immediately associate it with the concept of chesed. And in fact, Rashi quotes the Gemara in Maseches Chulin that Lama Nikra Shema Chasidah. Why was this bird called a chasidah? She'osa chasidot im chavroteha, because she is kindly towards her acquaintances and those that she is close to. So the question that's asked is raised in light of a comment made by the Rambam in Moreh Nevuchim, where he states that the birds listed as non-kosher are non-kosher because of their characteristic of achzariyut, of cruelty. And so if that is the case, one wonders why the chasidah, who is a Baalat Chesed, would have been included in this list. There are a number of answers that are suggested. There is a very famous citation of the first Gerer Rebbe, Rabbi Yitzchak Meir Alter, the Chidushei Harim, and it appears in Likutei Harim Mipi Hashmua, that the problem with this bird is Osa Chesed im Chavruteha, Rak im chavruteha. She's not acting kindly towards anyone that she encounters, but only those that she is friendly and close with. That's not a real Baal Chesed, and therefore she's included in this list of non-kosher species. The Vilna Gaon takes another understanding of the root Chesed. We find in Parshat Ha'arayot, illicit relations, an act that is defined as chesedhu, and that's a derogatory appellation. A person who is overly friendly, overly close, that's wonderful when it's with the right second party. However, there are times where such closeness is not called for, and in the Parsha of Arayot, it's defined as chesedhu. Says the Vilna Gaon, this bird, the stork, if you will, has no fidelity towards its partner. And therefore what it does, and apparently there might even be some unknown midrashic source for this, what the bird does after relating with someone other than her partner is she washes herself to remove the malodorous effects of such relations, so that her mate, her spouse, if you will, would be none the wiser for her infidelity. And so this is hardly a laudatory expression. However, I think there's a third response that's rooted in the Ramban. The Ramban is even sharper in his description than the Rambam was in the Guide to the Perplexed. The Ramban says that every bird that is listed in this section as non-kosher has the characteristic of being a dorsanit, she tramples, and an achsarit, she is cruel and unkind. So, of course, the question that begs to be asked is, wait a minute, you just said the chasidah, at least according to the Gemara in Masechet Chulin, is cited by Rashi and others, she shows kindness, and now you're telling me that she's cruel? And the answer is that we are very complex people, as is this bird, the chasidah. She may show kindness to some, those to whom she's close, but she also has the capacity to act with achzariyut, with cruelty, towards others. This seems to be self-contradictory, but yet we as human beings manage to do the very same thing. We can show kindness to certain people, and then show cruelty towards others, show sensitivity and understanding to some, but not to others. For the bird, her acts of cruelty towards those with whom she wasn't particularly close rendered her in the category of a dorsanit and an achsarit and a non-kosher species. We human beings have to hope that our Maisa Chesed, our sensitivities, our concern for others, our kindness, far would outweigh those occasions where perhaps we are lacking in these midot and act in a different direction. Let's hope that to the degree that we see room for improvement, that we can show more kindness, more chesed, more sensitivity, and more concern for all of our fellow human beings. Shabbat Shalom.